Hello, Om Shanti, and you're with me, Ala, again. And today I wanted to share with you my personal story, a story of my growth as an artist. When I was younger, much younger, I would sometimes see dreams, bad dreams or nightmares, and I would wake up and I would draw them just so I would make sense of them later so I can analyze them. And I didn't like what I see, and it scared me a little bit. And I decided not to paint anymore, and was not painting for a long time. And I thinking now that as a younger person, I was not doing any spiritual sort of research, was not growing spiritually as a person, and was affected by negative spirits, by negative sort of surrounding, maybe as a teenager specifically. And that's why my paintings were darker. And then later on in my life, when I started to practice, I had to start painting as well. So when I started to practice, I was reading mostly. I started with reading. I read Bible. I read the Laws of Manu. I've read about Buddhism. I read about I read what wrote Rerich and his wife. I read about Blavatsky, Veda, you name it. I think I kind of went through a lot of books. And then I realized that my knowledge is kind of dry, like doesn't have anything that moves. So I do have that knowledge, but it's solid, it's heavy, but I need to do something more. So that's when I started to practice meditation and yoga. With that, suddenly, when I was doing yoga, I realized that I actually started to have visions. To my understanding, what I was seeing, it was spiritual beings that live in the thin layers, in the upper layers of the cosmos. And the resemblance was with the Ganesha. The Ganesha came first. And it started from there. The next one who came in my meditation was Agni. Agni is a god of fire. And then I've seen Shiva. I hope that that's what I've seen because of the shape of that entity, of that godly creature. And Shiva came in a few different forms. So I started to paint. But the how I started, it was when my husband was meditating. He started a little bit later than I did, and he had a hard time sort of analyzing if he is meditating correctly. He was like, I don't even know if I'm dreaming or I'm sleeping or I'm just sitting there. I don't see a progress. I don't know how to meditate and what I'm supposed to see. And it's very individual experience. So I only could share with him what I see. And when I started to tell him that I see busy life, I've seen many creatures there. I don't know what they are yet, but I will find out. So how could I prove it to him that that's what I see? How I could explain the beauty of everyone that I met there, and all of them, when they became my family, I couldn't not share. I wanted to share. So it's hard to explain in words. We don't have that in our vocabulary. So I started to paint. Basically just to show my husband what I see when I meditate. And if if you don't mind, I will just tell you a little bit about a few pictures that are here. So, for example, this picture is Avian King. When we met first in my meditation, there is a story behind it, but it's very sort of personal, and I don't want to share it, but it's beautiful. And the Avian King is my really, truly good friend. However, I don't know his name. I don't know his name, and if someone knows or read somewhere about this bird, beautiful bird, maybe it's a legend around it, or I don't know. If you know, let me know, because I want to know his name. On the top, it's a flower called Soma. I had to read about that because when it started to appear in my meditation, and I thought, well, it's so beautiful, I definitely am gonna paint it, but I don't know what it is. So I did my research, and Soma turned out to be a flower that people used in the rituals to do a special drink for gods. And gods would come and drink it, and if they pleased with that drink, then they would help people. I think that's how the legend goes. It's more details in Vedas, but it's a beautiful flower. It came to me a few times, and I decided to paint it like that. It's not ideal because I'm not that good of an artist, but I did my best to bring the beauty of it out. And definitely it's way more beautiful in that higher reality, but there is no colors here. There is no technique that I possess anyhow to bring a beauty of that to you guys. All I know, it gives me bliss. It gives me peacefulness. It gives me that beauty, and gives me love. When I'm there, when I'm around, and when I see them, it gives me that feeling that I am home with my family, and they are helping me. They never talk to me. Just wanted to tell, if in case you are wondering, no one talked to me, but no words needed. It's all feeling of bliss. That's what I get from the pictures, and I think that I achieved to sort of bring that emotion of love, feeling of love through those pictures. So right there is a Mahadev, that Shiva. Shiva came in different forms. I decided to do this form, but it happened a few times, and Shiva looked slightly different, but I could recognize somehow. I think, cannot prove, I don't know, maybe some people who know more about how Shiva is supposed to look will tell me that no, this is not Shiva, but somehow that's the feeling I got. Sticking with it. This is a Ganesha, my humble friend, and he is helping me. He is my guru, and always will be. On the top row, you see it's a sort of resembles a human body, but it's not. I had to make it more sort of, put it in a physical form, but it's for me. But it was less sort of a human-like. But still, the message was, we give you light. You came for light, here it is. We are giving it to you. And I think I was crying. It was so special. It meant that they see me, they recognize that I am there. They know that I'm trying my best to do a better person. I'm trying my best to grow as a human being, to grow spiritually, and they recognizing that, and they are giving me the most beautiful gift that they can give me. It's the light. It's love. So I could not paint that. I had to. I could not paint that, so I had to, and this is how I've seen it. Right next to it, I called it Tat Sat, because what I think this is that golden egg, I guess, the higher being who creates sort of our world, our universe. It's sort of spits out those round clusters of energy that will become a planet or galaxies later on. But I think it's the process of creation, and that's why I call it Tatsat, because that's my understanding of it. But again, I'm not that great of an artist to bring that, the details of it, the feeling of it. But it's just came, and that's how I interpret it. And I hope I'm right, because the process of creation is beautiful. I did not see anything more beautiful than this. And then on the upper corner, it's just, I called it homecoming. I mean, that's one of the spirits, one of the godly spirits brings home our planet, a pure planet, back to where it's belong, back to the kingdom, God's kingdom. And that's what I painted. Right under it, it's a Garuda. Garuda is, how I read Garuda was the bird that God Vishnu used to get around. Technically, he was flying on Garuda when he had to go different places. And there's a story behind it as well. If someone interested, you can just Google it, Garuda, and the story will be there for you. And I think it's beautiful creature. And then next to it, it's a Saraswati. Saraswati is the goddess of wisdom. Not just wisdom, beauty and many other things. But to me, the wisdom is most important quality. And Saraswati came, and I received some wisdom that in my next videos I will talk about how I got that knowledge. So it's almost like you go there and suddenly it's not that like they are explaining to you how everything works, but it's like suddenly you understand. If you have something in mind, you had no idea, but then when you're there, you just understand, because they somehow have that capacity to open up to unlock your memory. I think that's probably a better way to explain it. And then So Saraswati will always be very special to me. And down here, lotus comes a lot as well. Lotus is a beautiful flower, but and you can see it here on this picture that I called Tiara of the Sun. But right next to it, it's the bloom of the soul. One of my meditations was very sort of quiet day, peaceful day. I was on my day off, and I felt that bliss again, and I've seen that beautiful flower that blooms beautifully and radiate that light into a darkness, and I felt very special. So it's one of my latest pictures, and I just love it. I hope I was able to bring out that beauty. It was way more beautiful, but again, there is no color that I have, that we have, to sort of to, to open and to sort of to use to reproduce how it looks there. It's way more beautiful than I am able to paint. And one here down here is a picture called Dialogue. It's a young girl meditating, having a sort of internal conversation with her higher spirit. There is also a story behind that picture, and but it's all about the connection. It doesn't matter what you're going through and what you do. If you're connected to your higher power, to your creator, you are never alone. You know you have a family, and you know that they will never betray you. They are always there to help, as long as you're willing to open your mind and start your spiritual journey. They will help you. It gives me a lot of peacefulness. I love painting. I love that beauty. I love what I see. When we were in India, I asked Guruji, what do I do with that? Can you suggest what? Because other people that I talk to, they don't see it. I know there are some people who do see the same visions or similar visions, rather, but I don't know what to do with that. And he said, it's okay. Just go up. You need to go up. You need to connect. You need to meet your Atman. You need to find your Atman. You need to connect. Just go through that and go higher up in your meditation. And I try to do that. However, they are my family. There are so many spirits living in a higher levels, in a thin layers of cosmos, that I have to slow down and look at them. So I will do that, but then I will try to go higher. So this is my plan, and I'm gonna tell you before I wrap it up that there are dark spirits as well. They're spirits. They don't possess body, but they are spirits. They are a cluster of energy, but they are darker. They're not as nice. I never seen or feel one, but I know a lot of people felt them. The ghost. They normally give you that negative, sort of unpleasant feeling, or will make you feel fear. So those dark energies you have to look out for. If you don't want them around, again, you have to increase your light, your inner light. You have to be more spiritual in a sense of get the knowledge, start meditating, check your thoughts. Your thoughts needs to be positive. You have to wish everyone, and yourself included, well. You need to be more positive and constructive. If you practice that, even if someone really disliking you or you have a conflict with, still, if you wish them well, you are doing favor to yourself and to them as well. Then you stop in that negativity, and then those dark energies that are on a planet, and there are a lot of them, they will not be able to sort of be near you, because your vibration is higher and you will be making them uncomfortable. So wish everyone well. Go up, see the light, and grow spiritually. I am wishing you all the best, and I'm wishing all those that near you to be well, and I wish everyone I know to be well. And that's it for now. Have a good day, and Om Shanti.